So first things first, I want to talk a little bit about Meteor's back end. So I'm inside of the server main.js folder right here, and it just has a little bit of code. It says import Meteor from Meteor, and then it's got this Meteor startup code to run on the server at startup. So Meteor's back end is based off of Node.js, which is a pretty popular way these days to run JavaScript on the back end. So instead of running something like PHP on the back end or Ruby on Rails, which you may have heard of, you're using JavaScript to run on the back end, which helps a lot of people, I guess, to they're familiar with JavaScript on the front end because they like building websites. They want to be able to do the same type of programming on the back end, so everything's kind of similar. I love Node.js personally. I love Meteor, so it just kind of fits for me. Hopefully you like it too. But I did just want to talk a little bit about how this works real quick. So this MeteorJS, or this main.js file running on Meteor right now, runs instantly like with your terminal. So anything like I write in here, like let's say I want to just console log something anytime we start the server up for the first time. So I could say our Meteor server has started, like that, and then just save it. Notice what's going to happen inside the terminal here. We refreshed, and then it says our Meteor server has started right here, and then it says Meteor server restarted basically. So anything we put inside of here is going to be run immediately on startup with this server, and then we can get into some more complex techniques later on for, we're going to be talking to the database that we make, MongoDB, and sending things back to the client, which will be in our app. Speaking of our app, I'm actually going to close the Poke server right now and open up the Pokemap and start programming away. I already have my simulator open. As you can see, it's just that base app.js Expo code that they give you. Go ahead and start up your emulator, or go ahead and share to your phone, because we're going to get started programming a little bit with our app in this lesson here. So first things first, let's go ahead and take out some of this text right here. We're not going to need that. And let's see, how do I want to, I think the app is fine. We're definitely going to have a couple other files inside of Pokemap. What I do want to do is open up our terminal, and we're going to have, you can either make another window, or in this case, I'm going to make another tab for my terminal. Command prompt, I think you're going to have another window, but I just want another terminal running. Generally, we want our Meteor server running whenever we're going to be using our app, but for right now, I'm going to hit Control-C, and that's going to stop the server. If I wanted to restart the server, all I'd have to do is type in Meteor again, but I'm going to have the Poke server off right now. But for this side of my terminal, what I want to do is I want to change directories into my Pokemap. So I'm going to say cd Pokemap, because there's a few things that we're going to want to install. So just like the last, the last app we built, we used Axios and Native Base. Those were the two things that we used Yarn to install, if you remember. We're going to want to use Native Base just like we did last time. So we're going to say yarn add native-base. Native Base, again, it's all those free components, those open source components that we can use that look really clean and nice. They give our app a very nice boost without doing a whole lot of styling work. So we just want that to have in our back pocket in case we wanted to add something in without doing, like I said, a whole lot of styling work. The other thing we're going to want is something called, so we'll say yarn add, something called React-native-meteor. Now what this is it's a package built by some of the core people with the Meteor team, the people who built Meteor, and what it does is it helps you communicate between your MeteorJS server and your React Native app pretty easily without going through a whole bunch of difficult work trying to set up that communication up. So this is a really powerful tool. We're going to go ahead and add that. Oops. Oh, sorry, yarn add React Native Meteor. We're going to go ahead and add that in, and we're going to be using that to hook up our Meteor server with the front-end React Native app. And I'll show you in the next video. It is pretty easy. Stay tuned until then. We're just going to cut this one short because we learned a couple things already. So see you then.